Hi, and today in IDPro's blog, getting to know IDPro, we are going to talk to Kate Oldham. She is the executive director with Women in Identity, an organization that IDPro feels is so important for this for the industry. So we wanted to meet with you today. Thank you so much for joining us, Kate.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm excited to talk about women in identity.
Awesome. Yeah, no, this is going to be a great conversation and very timely, I think, too. So can you tell us a little bit about how Women in Identity got started, its goals, how it began?
Sure, of course. So Women in Identity began as an experiment to promote diversity in the identity industry and address the issues around the lack of representation of a diverse workforce within the industry and what that means to the potential for bias in technology solutions. So the organization has now become a fully fledged not-for-profit, officially launched in 2019, and has grown exponentially in every aspect, from our volunteer leadership team to our sponsors. Today we have over 2,000 members from every corner of the world, 14 ambassadors in several countries globally, have organized and attended over 40 events. And while we talk about women specifically, Women in Identity is an organization championing all diversity across the industry, not just gender. Membership is free. Our membership is diverse. Women in Identity is open to everyone, irrespective of gender, background, ability. You don't have to be specifically interested in identity or digital identity or come from a technical background. We encourage everyone to join. We have a fantastic community, really, it really is.
Yeah, it sounds so incredible. And I love what you're saying about, it's women leading the charge, not women saying only women in identity. And I think that's fantastic. So obviously that would have a natural impact just by the nature of the organization that you've just described, would have an impact on the current identity ecosystem and community. Can you tell me a little bit more about the impact you feel the organization can have, and also how you got to know IDPro? How did you guys get connected?
Yeah, absolutely. So as our mission states, we drive the digital identity industry to build solutions with diverse teams to promote universal access, which enables civic, social, and economic empowerment around the world. And in doing so, we aspire to support innovation and the growth of our sector by ensuring that identity solutions are built for everyone, or identity solutions built for everyone by everyone. So not only does Women in Identity draw attention to the need for diversity throughout the identity industry, but we empower our sponsors and our community members to build those diverse teams and to join those teams. And we do that through our online job board, our networking and events, and our communications. So Women in Identity also strongly believes in the need for a global identity code of conduct to address identity inclusion. Identity exclusion, being excluded from access to identification credentials, being excluded from access, subsequently leads to exclusion from financial services and products. We've completed our first piece of work in this area and recently published a report, The Human Impact of Identity Exclusion. This is based on groundbreaking research conducted in 2 markets. We have the UK as an existing market, and Ghana as an emerging market.
Okay.
And it reviews the landscape of ID exclusion and investigates the causes and consequences of exclusion. And with that research, we spoke with, conducted interviews with individuals who were directly impacted by identity exclusion, and then also experts in the field. So next steps would be to develop an identity code of conduct in collaboration with the industry and policymakers internally, frame the economic value, growth, and investment opportunity for implementing the identity code of conduct, and develop a practical implementation framework for organizational adoption. And anybody who is interested in reading that report, you can download it on our website if you visit womeninidentity.org.
That's awesome. Yeah, we saw that, saw the news out of you guys a while back and did a blog post around it. So
yes.
People can also check out the blog post on IDPro. That's an incredible piece of work. So kudos on that. I know it took a lot of effort, I'm sure.
It did, yes, yes. And so, and yeah, so with that, as you mentioned, IDPro did the blog post. So IDPro has been a fantastic advocate for women in identity and the work we are doing. So, you know, IDPro shares our content. We participate in co-sponsored events, highlighting our, and then highlighting our work, such as the ID Code of Conduct in blog posts and articles. Women in Identity and IDPro have partnered in the past on events, workshops, virtual meetups. Most recently, Heather Vesson, your executive director and president, participated in Women in Identity's Future of Digital Identity, which was a panel hosted by one of our sponsors. And then we also have a fantastic interactive workshop that was recorded, Recruiting for Diversity, that you can check out on our YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, no, it's great. I think all of the work and the crossover support that we can provide each other is just fantastic. And I know Heather was super excited to participate in that panel. So that was awesome. So Kate, from your perspective, can you tell me a little bit about what you think or what you envision for the future of the identity industry?
Sure, sure. Yeah, so governments around the world are pouring huge amounts of resources into creating digital identity systems to allow their citizens to access both public and private sector services. So the future of identity will be defined by a few things: interoperability and ease of use, secure data sharing, inclusion, ensuring that all users have fair and equal access to services. There is also a shift towards greater user control, where individuals own their data and can determine who has access to it and for how long. Also links to verifiable credentials.
Okay, that's cool. And you mentioned, you know, I know people are going to want to learn more after they watch this. So you mentioned early on in our conversation that I believe you said membership is free and open to everyone, correct? So if people wanted to get involved and wanted to support women in identity, support the organization, what would they do? How would they go about that?
Yeah, absolutely. People can support women in identity in a number of ways. You can become a member. As you mentioned, membership is free to everyone by becoming a sponsor. All of our funding for Women in Identity comes from our generous sponsors. Without them, we would not be able to continue working to achieve our mission of for all, by all. Individuals can volunteer. We are always looking for volunteers to help with the day-to-day operations of the organization. And you can visit our website at womeninidentity.org to learn more about the organization, about our code of conduct research, view upcoming events, member interviews, and blog posts. And if you'd like more information or are interested in getting involved, you know, feel free to reach out to me. And then you can also email us at info@womeninidentity.org.
That's awesome. Great. And I love the for all by all. I love that hashtag. I think it's great. And I know we've used it in posts, especially when we were talking about the recent blog post about your identity code of conduct. So that is just so cool. So I'd encourage people also to go visit Twitter, keep up to speed on what's going on, and use the hashtag for all by all for all backwards. And definitely check it out. It's a great organization. And thank you so much, Kate. I know we appreciate you taking the time today to meet with us. This has been fantastic. And we look forward to more from you guys.
Yeah, this has been great. I really appreciate the opportunity that you have allowed us, you know, to be here and to draw attention to the work that we're doing, to the work that IDPro is doing. We look forward to future collaborations with your organization. And as you said, yes, Twitter, you can check us out there. Women in Identity has a presence across social media channels like Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. And yeah, we look forward to welcoming new members and you know, drawing more attention to that need for diversity in the industry.
Awesome. Thanks again so much, Kate, and look forward to talking to you again in the future.
Okay, thanks so much.
Bye.
Take care.